gambling sites crashed.
In sports. Are you serious? Is that
well?
happened?
So there's not one. So I'm not calling out any one particular gambling app. The gambling apps all use the same horse racing offshoot.
Gotcha.
And that offshoot basically crashed because there was so much traffic going towards it couldn't handle it.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I did not know that. But who are some of your favorite long shots? You had a lot of them. 83 NC State, 85
Totally.
Nova.
Now
that was the era of Cinderellas.
Are we talking about that had to have won a championship or just that won?
Because two of my favorites didn't even come close to winning.
Typically, this question goes to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
I don't know what you would consider a long shot in terms of seeding. There were two in the same year. And part of it, Derek, is we become nostalgic about sports in a certain time frame of our life, 12 to 18.
Yeah.
My junior year in high school, there were two Cinderella stories in the NCAA tournament. Ball State.
Chandler Thompson.
Which was
yeah
unbelievable, the Ball State run.
We're actually competitive with UNLV.
They defeated Oregon State and Louisville to get to the Sweet 16 where they should have beaten UNLV and gave UNLV the closest game of anybody in that tournament. UNLV, after beating Ball State in the regional finals, had to play Loyola Marymount.
Oh, yeah. Bo Kimball.
And Jeff Fryer. That team was unbelievable after Hank Gathers. And you know something interesting that I didn't realize, not to be morbid here, but Hank Gathers, of course, passed away of a heart attack on the floor in 1990 in their West Coast Conference tournament. When Hank Gathers collapsed, the point guard of the opposing team, I think they were playing Portland, like you see him look like, what just happened? Do you know who that was?
No.
Eric Spoelstra.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But that Loyola Marymount team in 1990, man, they were fun to watch.
Yeah.
They just got boon of points. The obvious answer here for me is Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson, but that's too obvious.
Somebody will say St. Peter's. You know, if you're 10 years old, you'd probably say St. Peter's.
That was amazing.
I loved it, and I can't stand him. Or recently, I've come back around on Gonzaga, but the first Gonzaga team to make a real big run in '99 when they pushed UConn and nearly made the Final Four was one of my favorite teams. Buster Douglas, who we had on the show. Do you want to tell your Buster Douglas? I think it's kind of cool. You went to his gym.
Yeah, Buster Douglas, who defeated Mike Tyson. He was, I believe, 42-1 were the odds of that.
31-1 was what I saw.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Some books weren't even taking it, though.
Correct. I mean, it was, for those that weren't around, Mike Tyson was invincible.
Mm-hmm.
Buster Douglas defeated him in Tokyo. I became like almost obsessed with trying to find Buster Douglas. And I don't even remember how, but I ended up I knew somebody. It might have been, I don't know if it was a Golden Gloves here in town or whatever it was, but at any rate, Keith Boggs might have hooked me up. But Buster Douglas was running a Boys and Girls Club City Park gym in Columbus, Ohio. And I got a hold of him. I got his cell phone number, ended up calling him, and he answered. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm talking to Buster Douglas, the heavyweight champion of the world. And we had him on the show. And then when I was in Columbus, I went to his gym, and there he is with these 10, 12-year-old kids teaching him boxing in this inner-city gym. None of the kids had really any comprehension of his magnitude. And I got a photo taken with him, had it printed out to a nearby drugstore, went to go get it so that I could take it back and have him sign it. And the guy at the photo store, or at the CVS or Walgreens or whatever it was.
Yeah, photo stores don't really exist anymore.
I go in and I said, I'm here to pick up a picture that I just had printed from my phone, you know. So he gets the picture and looks at it and says, "Is that Buster Douglas?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Man, I'll never forget when that's you met him?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Where is he these days?"
Block down the road.
He's a block down the road running the gym, has been for 10 years.
Yeah, that's wild.
Great guy. And he was a super nice guy.
He was super cool with us on the show. So I knew that was close to your heart as one of yours. And then I think it goes without saying, because people yelling at their monitors, favorite long shots, a lot of people probably saying 1989 Trumbull, Connecticut Little League, which won the 1989 Little League World Series, knocking off a behemoth in Taiwan. Taiwan had won 12 of the 20 previous championships. They had made the final 15 times. Had just won the last 2 years by a combined score of 30-3, and Chris Drury just put together a masterpiece. You guys already know at home, 5-2, final score, final out, an emotional moment. Kind of the miracle on ice of Little League. In fact, some people believe it eclipsed the miracle on ice, Trumbull's win in '89. So that, being my hometown, clearly my favorite of the long shots.
Yeah, no one cares about that.
A lot of people care about that, as I just said. Like, I didn't want to lead with that because I felt like it was too obvious. Like 99 Gonzaga, Buster Douglas, Miracle on Ice, whatever. People think about those. They don't think about them in the same light as what toppling Taiwan meant to America.
Taiwan.
Yeah.
Okay.
To American sport.
By the way, speaking of Little League, I played Little League baseball for the Red Sox at Allisonville Little League in 1985 and 86. Our sponsor, by the way, was Love Heating and Air. That is correct. Back then, Love Heating and Air Conditioning was around, and why not? They were sponsoring Little League baseball because at that time they were already 65, 66 years into being a corporation in Indianapolis. Love Heating and Air has now been around for over 100 years. Love-HVAC.com is their website. That's love-HVAC.com. Great customer service, great product, goes without saying at Love Heating and Air Conditioning. Commitment to that product and 24-hour on-call maintenance. Listen, it's a family business, 4 generations deep. They treat you like family. That's what we love about Love Heating and Air Conditioning. And they bring us each and every week, Derek, and we're thrilled to say that they're going to continue to do so. Thank you very much to Chris John and Phil Love in that regard. Our Love That Play, our favorite play of the weekend, and we're leading with it right now.
I'd love to think of something outside the box, but you mentioned the aerial view of Rich Strike's win is just
amazing.
Shocking. And even if it was a fluke, who cares? That's the beauty of sports. I love talking about fluke championships.
How about
fluke championships are great.
How about the horse afterwards? Somebody made an interesting point on Twitter. One of these just random guys that lives wherever that had 838 followers or something. As they were posting, somebody sent a tweet, and the timestamp verifies that said, "Whoa, this like number 21 horse is like jumping all over the place. Pick him to win."
Yeah, and he started biting people. Yeah,
afterwards,
or biting horses, I guess.
He was like what you would be. That's what I imagine you being if you were. You wouldn't win the Kentucky Derby, but if you were a horse, you're out there like
human beings, so
biting ankles and stuff. He was like, he was ready to go.
Yeah,
right?
I'm very aggressive, and I'm also a huge trash talker. So,
well, he's not a trash talker.
That would be part of it. Well, no, I understand that, but trying to bite other horses is kind of him taunting the other horses, I feel like.
Do you know if ponies are trash talkers, do you know why it's hard to hear them?
Why is that?
They're a little horse.
That's great. Love-HVAC.com.
Love That Play is, in fact, the aerial footage, the unbelievable movement by, is it Rich Strike or Strike Rich?
Rich Strike.
Rich Strike. The unbelievable movement, not only threading his way through the field, but then go time to win the 148th Kentucky Derby. It was pretty darn cool.
We've got the latest on the NBA playoffs when we return. Also, our Hoagies and Hops hero and Hoagie of the week, which I got to hustle back to the break room to get.
Oh, you got the Hoagie?
Yeah,
okay.
I do.
All
Square
right.
and Schultz. ISC Sports Network presented by Bailey & Wood Financial Group. Plenty more to come next.
Hey, I'm Jeff Saturday, and my favorite thing when I was a professional football player was Indiana. The Hoosier State always made me feel like family. That's why I trust Indiana's hometown mortgage lender, Bailey & Wood. This family-owned company not only gives back to the communities they serve, but also with their 5-star customer service, they can close on your dream home in days, not weeks. So remember, Indiana, you can always get your mortgages at a snap with Bailey & Wood.
Hey, Jeff, how does this look? Yay!
Not bad, bud, but let's stick to mortgages.
At an Indiana dairy farm, long workdays stretch into more labor after sunset. A newborn calf needs watching, barn needs cleaning, tractor needs some handiwork for tomorrow's tasks. Just like in your own home, the day's chores are never done until the family beds down for the night. Dairy farmers and their families share the same dream with all of us, that what we all do is worthwhile. Bringing to market pure, safe, and healthy dairy foods is what they do, from Indiana's dairy families to ours every single day. Learn more at winnersdrinkmilk.com.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Bailey and Wood Mortgage Lender presents Query and Schultz here on IC Sports Network alongside Jay Query. I'm your host, Derek Schultz. Hope you had a great weekend. It was a fun weekend, wasn't it?
Alongside Jake Query, I'm your host. You'd be co-host.
We are both hosts.
They'd be
So-
co-hosts.
No, I don't really view myself as a co-host. It's kind of a 1A, 1B sort of situation. So we're both hosts of the show. I'm the host of Query and Schultz. You're the host of Query and Schultz.
Yeah,
It's
that
not
make us
one is
co-hosts.
superior to the other. No, I don't like co. It's not good. It doesn't sound good on my LinkedIn page. I want to have the brand power of
LinkedIn
of saying
is
host.
that's just Tinder for workplaces, right?
It is the most, all the posts are humble brags.
Really?
Yeah. Like, here's what I did today, but like worded in a way that makes you.
I don't have LinkedIn.
So I had one guy who I knew. I'm trying to think of what his post was. It was something like, we made $30 million in profits or something this year for the company. So I decided to wake up this morning and run 30 miles. And I'm like, you're kidding me. Like, you woke up and ran 30 miles?
Nobody
Like,
does.
what is wrong with
No,
you?
nobody does.
Yeah. Or
That's
maybe
a
it
lot.
was 20 million and 20 miles.
Either way.
No one would run 30 miles. 30 miles would take you like 5 hours, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would be late to work. Anyway, I love
Nobody runs 30. A marathon's 26.1.
I love mini weekend. It's the unofficial kickoff of summer to me. The fact that it happened to be Mother's Day, Derby weekend, the Grand. I'm not an F1 guy, but I appreciate
Right.
what F1 is. NBA playoffs. It really was a great. And the weather finally turned. It stopped raining for the first time in 3 weeks.
The NBA playoffs have been really good. And first off, let's start in the East. Miami and Philadelphia now squared up. Joel Embiid is healthy. They're going back to Miami. Advantage Heat because they're at home, or advantage Philadelphia because Joel Embiid is a beast?
Well, if Philly was going to have any chance of winning this series, they needed Embiid back, and now they're 2-0 with him.
Right.
And it's not that he's put up huge numbers. It's just his presence. I think he's 21 and 11 in the 2 games. He had 24, 18. He had 11 rebounds in both games. But just his presence, because it opens up everything else.
Maxey, those guys.
Yeah, well, thank God for Maxey, or else Philly wouldn't even probably be here. And then finally, you had a good James Harden game. Yeah. So, give Harden his flowers for Game 4. He actually played pretty well, even though it feels like he's been missing a step this entire year. I still think it's Miami, because I just think they're better all around. But Philly with Embiid is going to give them a fight.
Boston, Milwaukee? Milwaukee
that
now,
one, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, do you have a read on that?
I think, look, and I think the world of Boston, of Brown and Tatum, I think they're wonderful. But Milwaukee has the best player. I know that Jokic just won MVP for the second straight year, but to me, Giannis is the one player in the NBA that can take over a game. And when it's go time for Giannis, it's get out of the way time for everybody else.
I mean, there are a couple of players that can take over a game. I mean, Steph Curry, Luka, Durant can take over a game. But I agree with you that Giannis is maybe the best takeover of the takeover people. And I usually lean towards best player in a series, but I just think Boston missed a huge opportunity in Game 3 because Middleton is still out, and you had stolen back home court, and now you gave it right back. So I guess I would slightly lean Milwaukee, but to me, that series is a coin flip. The winner of that series wins the East.
Coin flips, I feel like the West is starting to settle out a little bit.
I don't know. Dallas is making it real interesting.
Well, Dallas and Phoenix is probably
Yeah.
a bit of a coin flip, but I think Golden State's going to take Memphis.
Me
right?
too. I think Memphis is
John Morant's hurt.
And as I was prepping for the show, I was like, I know this has happened, but I'm trying to think of an example. Maybe if you go to the very early Bulls teams with Jordan, remember when they'd go up against the Pistons and you'd think, okay, this is the year, and then the Pistons would just kind of throw them back.
Right.
I feel like Memphis is a year or two ahead.
That's probably right.
And sometimes when a team that hasn't been there before runs into a team that has, and look, Golden State has guys like Poole, et cetera, that haven't been part of that championship core, but Draymond, Clay, Steph, some of the holdovers from those dynasty years, it's just really hard when you're knocking on the door to kick the door down. And I don't know if Memphis is ready to do that yet.
And I mean, John Morant's wonderful, but now if he's dinged up, the knees, rough. But
Did you think that was a dirty play?
I didn't.
I didn't either. I think when you're kind of going for the loose ball, I think you're reaching all over the place.
And I think Jordan Poole kind of pulled back.
Yeah, I guess these guys are competitive and, broke the code. You get salty about it, but to think that somebody...
Are you a code breaker? You strike me as a code breaker.
Like the Native American ones? They made a movie about that.
About what?
World War II, they had Navajo to send transmissions so they wouldn't be intercepted by the Germans, or I don't know if it was the Japanese or maybe both. They did them in Navajo, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I just mean like
Hands would know, our longtime listener who has Navajo blood.
I didn't mean a code breaker like you break codes. I meant a code breaker like you're not dialed in like guy code. You know what I mean? Like you're not really with the program.
I'm with the program.
Like people would be like, don't tell Schultz about that. Like he kind of breaks code.
Well, people are worried about telling me stuff because I'm famous and I have a huge platform. So that's been a problem in the past. But I'm a great secret keeper.
Okay.
I am.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Don't laugh too hard. I know some secrets about you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
That's why you shouldn't slight me.
Mm-hmm.
I know some secrets.
Okay.
Did we miss one of the series? What didn't we talk about?
Phoenix, Dallas. No,
we hit them all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a chance, and we're taping this right now on Monday. 2 of the series are 2-2 after Sunday's games. There's a chance that all 4 semifinal series are 2-2, and that'd be a trip to have all 4 of them be a best of 3. But I still feel like Miami, to me, I'd still be really surprised if they weren't to win. Same thing for Phoenix. I know that
I'm leaning a little bit towards.
It's taking a second.
I hate to say this for my buddy Dan that I watch Heat games with, but I feel like Philadelphia's.
Yeah. And with Dallas, the best player in the series is Luka. So you always kind of have a fighting chance when you have the best player on the floor in an NBA game. But he's such a, he's a traffic cone defensively, and that's a big problem. And you need that second guy to step up, and whether it's going to be Brunson or somebody else, there's got to be someone else that's the second guy.
Traffic cone?
Yeah, just kind of a disparaging way.
It's better being a traffic cop.
Yeah, at least you can direct.
A cop.
I guess you could direct the player to the defender.
A cone, you have to stop before you go around it. A traffic cop, he's just doing this.
No, traffic cone, you just drive right around.
Yeah, but a traffic cop is telling you just go ahead. So if you're a traffic cop,
no, traffic cops sometimes tell you stop, sir.
Well,
traffic cone never tells you, at least never tells me stop. I just go right around them. Even when it says like road closed, through traffic, no through traffic, I go right through. I'm not really a rule follower when it comes to that, though. But I'm a very aggressive driver trying to get to where I need to get.
Yeah, I've seen when we were supposed to go to the state fair, you got very aggressive.
I don't want to retell that story.
It's great. Look at that.
Ready to go here?
Starving, yes.
See, I didn't lift it up weirdly from the table.
This is our Hoagies and Hops Hero of the Week, right? And Hoagie of the Week. What do we have?
Hero of the Week and Hoagie of the Week.
Pennsylvania style.
So today,
people complain that you're eating too much on the air.
No, I don't think anybody's complaining about that. And if they are, who cares? Because I like eating on the air, especially these delicious sandwiches. Look, they even cut it. This is my half over here. They even cut it into 4s for us.
Okay.
So smaller ones.
So that's your 4
for the show. So this is my quarter. This is the Market Street. So ham, turkey. Well, I have slaw on the side. Okay. Slaw. Munster, very underrated sandwich cheese, creamy, very good.
The Munster,
and Thousand Island. Do you like Thousand? I've always been a Thousand Island fan. So here, you take one of your quarters here. I did not touch this one. I did not touch this. This is the wrapper.
Did you not touch?
This one right here that I'm directing you to take. There it is. Right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
We'll bite into this bad. I actually just want to eat the slaw by itself, honestly. Even though it's good on the sandwich. Right, I mean, creamy.
Derek.
Good. And cold cuts and meat.
It's very good. It's outstanding.
Really good. One of the more underrated sandwiches on the menu.
The Thousand Island really works well with the Munster there, doesn't it?
Did you bring napkins? Oh, God. I got on my pants.
What grade are we in? Honestly, what grade are you in here? You got slaw all over your.
I'm growing out the mustache for the 500, so the hairs are much thicker and coarser. Like, I can just grow this majestic, beautiful mustache. And the problem is, like, I had a tuna fish sandwich the other day, and my wife, sorry, my computer's restarting again. And my wife said, you know, what is that on your face? And it was, you know, like the sun was setting. It was later in the day, and it was tuna. Because I can't see it. So the Brillo over here just picks up, whether it be pieces of fish or whatever else, whatever I've eaten for the day. So I need to be more cognizant of what's going on.
You clearly
Sorry, I got slaw on the chair here.
You're one of the most disgusting people.
It's an excellent, delicious sandwich. Now, you ready for our Hero of the Week?
Yes.
You're going to be apologizing to me for being such a jerk today on the show for this.
So you're admitting to being a jerk. That's cool.
No, you being a jerk to me. Hero of the Week, you ran the mini marathon.
I did.
With a partner, a guy who saved your life, who's the reason that you're even here. Dr. Benjamin Mottman is our Hero of the Week. He is a surgeon at Community North Hospital.
Cardiological interventionist at Community
He
Hospital.
is a Michigan State graduate. Go
is
green,
correct.
go white.
Wayne State University for medical school.
And a nice fella. A
Great
Michigan
guy.
native, I'm assuming, if you went to
He
Wayne
is.
State
Grew
and
up in
Michigan
the Grand
State.
Rapids area.
Yeah. Grand Rapids is a cool town.
Look, I've told the story a million times now, but when I had my heart attack, I wanted to get a gauge on how bad it was, and so I asked him, "You think I'll ever again be able to do the mini marathon?" And he said, "There's a lot that goes into that." And I said, "Well, if I do it, I want you to do it with me." And he, as he says, foolishly agreed to it. So we did it last year on our own because they didn't have the mini. So this was the first year they did the full mini. And look, Derek, he was a hero for three reasons. Number one, my foot went numb 2 miles in, and we pulled over basically, and he like looked at it and he's like, "Yeah, man, you got to do this, whatever." And
He do surgery on your foot
yeah, basically,
during the race?
basically. But he also, listen, he's 34 years old. He's in great shape. He ran the Chicago Marathon.
Wow.
So he could have done the full deal if he wanted to. But he was perfectly content and cool with going at the pace that I needed to go. As a 49-year-old guy who wasn't able to train a lot going into it and had a bone spur or plantar fasciitis on Monday and couldn't even walk. Thank you to Mike Stevens at St. Vincent Sport Performance, a co-hero. But Mottman went with my pace, and we had a really good time doing it. His family came out and cheered him on. And then at the end, Shannon brought Joey and cheered us on. It was a great day.
Good old Joey.
We had a lot of fun. And I think the cool thing is when I think of Mottman now, I think about the fact that he threaded a balloon through my heart. But more so, like, we just kind of hang out and have a good time. Now it's just like,
Yeah, you guys like text back and forth during games.
Yeah,
like he's
a
a buddy,
cool guy.
right? Yeah.
right. He's a cool guy.
Yeah. Well, it's
So-
cool that you do that with him, and it's cool that he has agreed to do that with you. You know, because sometimes and I've been like that too, where no one has saved my life per se, but you make friends like that, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, does this person really want to be my friend, or do they want to just
Right.
ride on the coattails of what I've got going on? Where I'm a public figure, people know who I am. I can get you into places.
He has no idea what I do for him.
Stuff like that.
He has zero.
And when
idea.
you see that it's a genuine friendship and they don't just want to take advantage of your fame, that's when it really becomes like a strong friendship. So I agree with you. Yeah. I have a couple people in my life. That I had to get rid of because of that. Yeah.
Who?
Just people trying to hop on for a ride. Sorry, I guess I should word that differently. Trying to grab onto my coattails. There were some people trying to hop on for a ride too, but that was pre-Ashley and all that. Sorry.
Your coattails are pretty, like, you'd have people
Oh, yeah. Okay.
good on here, right?
Short joke. 42nd and Boulevard, hoagiesandhops.com.
Outstanding.
They cater too. I want to make sure that people know. So don't bother with the national chains for catering. If you want to knock the socks off your workplace, Hoagies and Hops Catering, delicious sandos, cheesesteaks, sides, all of it really, really
Sandwiches.
good. Hoagies, really. Yeah. But hoagiesandhops.com if you want to order
Thousand
online.
Island hits a spot, too.
We'll come back and talk some racing. It's Grand Prix week.
It is.
Both Jake and I will be out at the track for that coming up this weekend. So we'll get into that race and also Alexander Rossi's previously muddy, but I think pretty clear and obvious future now here
You are
moving
correct.
forward. It's Query and Schultz, ISC Sports Network. Plenty to come next.
College wasn't built for me.
It didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Or if my kid had a fever.
Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
I want to take tests when I'm ready.
I want to take courses on my time.
And speed up when I know my stuff.
I want a university that cares about me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of you.
Indiana dairy farmers provide us with safe, pure foods for our tables. A responsibility that takes intuition, resolve, and determination to make sure their milk is good for you and delicious to taste. Their connection with our community runs deep, passed down through the generations, ensuring that milk is always available at your store. It's not easy being a dairy farmer, but the rewards have special meaning when you can feed Indiana's families every single day. Learn more at winnersdrinkmilk.com.
Hey, I'm Jeff Saturday, and my favorite thing when I was a professional football player was Indiana. The Hoosier State always made me feel like family. That's why I trust Indiana's hometown mortgage lender, Bailey & Wood. This family-owned company not only gives back to the communities they serve, but also with their 5-star customer service, they can close on your dream home in days, not weeks. So remember, Indiana, you can always get your mortgages at a snap with Bailey & Wood.
Hey, Jeff, how does this look? Yay!
Not bad, bud, but let's stick to mortgages.
Jake, the supposed co-host of this show, was supposed to take it back here for segment 3, but Greg Mash, who's filling in for Alan today, gave us a countdown, and he said about 10 seconds, and you took a huge bite of your hoagie.
Do you blame me?
And I said, go ahead and take her.
Do you blame me?
Well, I need you to handle some of the ins and outs. If this is going to be Query and Schultz, or else we'll just call it the Derek Schultz Show with his little sidekick.
Okay.
Some people have suggested that as sort of a transition for the show into the future. I wanted to give a shout-out. Can we do a show shout-out?
Absolutely.
Kristen in Kentucky. Hello.
Hi, Kristen.
Watching right now online. She is a friend of Matthew in Maine.
Okay.
So as we expand, I mean, we're talking here about changing the name and evolving for the show. As we expand nationally, we now have listeners in Maine and Kentucky and other states, but especially big to get into Kentuckiana and a neighboring state where I know Query and Schultz has already put down some footprints before. So hi to Kristen in Kentucky.
Okay.
Thanks
hold
for
on,
watching the
do
show.
we know where in Kentucky? It's a big state.
No.
Okay.
I like all of the places that I've been in Kentucky.
It's a neat state.
Now, I haven't been in like real rural Kentucky. I'm talking like Lexington and Louisville.
Have you been to the Daniel Boone National Forest?
No.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. I've been to Corbin, where apparently the KFC, the Colonel was from.
Really?
We stopped in Corbin on the way home from, I think, Nashville. Or, I don't know, we were coming back from Tennessee to get KFC because we were like, oh, is it better? Like, you know, like when you're in Atlanta, you get Coca-Cola. Right. And we ended up getting Bojangles instead.
Really?
Yeah, which was good. We did get fried chicken in Corbin, Kentucky, but we didn't get KFC.
Would you like to know a Jake Query fun fact?
Sure. You've never had KFC, have you?
That is correct.
Wow. I mean, you're not missing a whole lot. I prefer a lot of – I can't remember the last time I actually had KFC. I prefer a lot other, like, fried chicken. Sam's fried chicken is really good here locally. You know what's really good fried chicken is Safeway.
That's what he said.
And my wife requests that every year for Mother's Day. But, yeah, we had KFC.
Hollyhock Hill?
Yep. We had KFC a decent amount as, I guess, a kid.
Derek, Alex Pillow, the IndyCar driver, has fried chicken every time he wins a race. Winner chicken.
Really?
Dinner.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he goes and finds a fried chicken spot. Alexander Rossi, if he were to maintain that same pledge, it's been a while since he's had fried chicken.
Yeah, there was a piece in the Indianapolis Star today. We're taping this on Monday. I feel like I have to put that disclaimer every time. By Nathan Brown, who's been their IndyCar beat guy for the last couple of years, about Rossi's future. And look, I think we all knew, especially you're around it all the time, but me less so because I'm not in it like I was when we had the Daily Show, that Rossi had struggled in the last couple of years. I guess I was surprised to actually see the numbers put in front of me.
Yeah.
40 races without a win now. You have to go back to Road America in 2019 for the last time that Rossi parked in victory lane. And he had a couple of races like that year. And he's only had 6 podiums in that time. So we're talking 35 probably races at that point, but 6 podiums in that time.
Here's the thing, Derek. I think the world of Alexander Rossi as a driver, and I'm not trying to be his spokesperson or apologist here. A lot of not all. A lot of those races, he had the worst luck ever. I mean, an accident happens and somebody's wheel flies off and knocks his wing off and he's out of the race. That kind of it just seemed like that was happening all of the time.
Yeah.
A wrong strategy call and the team forces him to come in and he, a caution comes out. I mean, just terrible luck. Now, does that mean that it's time for a change of scenery with him? I don't know if I would go that far that it's necessary, but I think it's inevitable. Alexander Rossi is going to end up with, at least of right now, all signs are pointing to the fact that he is going to end up driving for McLaren Aero SP next year, Aero McLaren SP, to team along with Pato O'Ward, possibly Felix Rosenqvist.
Wow.
Although if Rosenqvist is out, possibly Rinus VK in a 3-car effort. But I think that change is about to happen.
Remember when McLaren first got involved a couple years ago with Alonso, and you're like, wow, it'd be really great if they could expand their IndyCar program. Can you imagine 4 years ago being like, oh, yeah, guess what? They're going to have Rossi, and they're going to have, Award, who's a rising star. I mean, it's incredible.
And VK, yeah.
And Rossi, I don't think it just always felt like a foregone conclusion that he was the next big thing, and then suddenly he's not. It's like, and then you've got Pato and Pillow and Herta, and you have this other group of young drivers.
Herta is really talented.
Kind of pushed him out of the way, and whether it's his fault or not, that's just where it's been. I mean, he's kind of become, unfortunately for him, he's kind of become Marco, where he's out there, he's turning laps, but he's P12, P9, P10. You're not thinking about him, and then he ends up kind of middle pack when it's all said and done, both from a point standpoint and just from a race standpoint. But it's not like he forgot how to drive. So you put him in the right equipment, and I can't imagine that he's not going to be a factor elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I like the guy a lot, and I think he's good for the sport. I think he has the potential to be, kind of that. He's not afraid to be the guy that people don't like, but he's good with the fans for people that do like him. So I hope he lands somewhere where the wins start coming because he is good for the sport, and he's mega talented.
Also worth mentioning that if this was 15 years ago, Rossi probably would have never fallen below like 5th or 6th, but because the talent level in IndyCar is so incredible that once you get behind, you're behind. And he's talking about, hundreds of a second and all this other stuff that he's got going on, and that's why. That's how small the margin is, the margin of error is in today's IndyCar.
I don't know what's going on here, but somebody's crawling around.
It's Sean.
Is everything okay?
Sean Walker, okay here? One of our
he's
ISC
not Sean Walker. He's crawling.
mainstays. Right. He's been with ISC since its inception.
Right. I thought maybe there was a medical issue.
We were actually having a pre-show conversation about this. Sean's not the smallest guy, and he's trying to get through, I think, to fix this background behind you here. We have to do a lot around Jake because he's not as complete of a polished package as I am. And he's trying to fix like the lighting and all of that to make you look you're like 55, right? So to make you look kind of less old. And so he's crawling around on the ground. I think he came up into my camera shot there, which we'll grab that in post, Greg, if we can. I don't want to limit any of my camera time. But I feel bad for Sean because he's trying to help you is what he's doing.
Okay, I was concerned there, though, because I thought to myself, he was telling me last week about how he had bone spurs and they had to cut out his Achilles. And I thought, well, that's unfortunate, but now he's dead.
Yeah.
So I looked down and he was I didn't know what happened. So I was a little concerned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sorry about that.
I didn't want to have to stop the show for the cadaver.
No, and this is why we have post. We can grab all that stuff and edit it in post. Just
it is time, by the way, Derek, for Buy It or Bullshits, correct?
That's right. Brought to you by our friends at Chateau Kitchens. Guess what's done? Well, they still need the shower glass. Shower glass is tomorrow. But guess what is basically done in my house?
Your shower.
My bathroom.
Is it the one downstairs?
No, it's upstairs. We split the master bathroom upstairs, so now there's 2 full bathrooms upstairs.
Really?
Yeah.
Right next to each other?
There's a wall separating them, obviously. But because the 3rd bedroom is up there, so that's kind of our guest room, we wanted guests to have their own bathroom with a shower and everything.
Okay.
And it's a little weird to go downstairs and shower outside of somebody's kitchen. We very strangely have a converted mudroom that is a full bathroom right outside of our kitchen. Yeah, which we didn't do. The old lady that owned the house before us did that.
Okay.
But Ryan, my project manager, says we're going to be done this week with the bathroom, and it looks Beautiful.
Okay.
And if you want beautiful bathrooms, beautiful renovations in your house, give my friends at Chateau Kitchens a call. Actually, just go online, chateaukitchens.com, or you can follow them on Instagram and Facebook to see some of the before and after pictures at Chateau Kitchens.
And you know how we do it, buy it or bullshits. Derek makes a statement, and I say whether I buy it or I think it's bullshits.
That's right. It's that easy.
Yeah.
My computer just crashed, so hold on. Let me restart it here.
We didn't make its little sound effect.
Well, it hasn't turned back on yet.
You don't have these memorized off the top of your head?
It just did the blue screen. Hang on. I don't have it memorized off the top of my head.
Okay, I'll give you one then. How's that?
Okay, fine.
Okay.
There it is.
Rich Strike will be a multiple Derby winner.
Derby?
Well, not Derby.
Or Triple
winner,
Crown
Triple
race winner.
Right.
This year or just for his career? Like he'll win a Preakness a year from now.
Well, you can only run each of them at the age of 3, right?
You can't run again next year? I thought you had a 2-year window to run them. Is that not right?
Well, the Derby, you have to be 3.
Okay.
So maybe.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought 3- and 4-year-olds both ran in the Triple Crown races.
But I would think you can only run them once, right? Should we have looked this up? Secretariat didn't come back to defend his Preakness, right?
Yeah, but what if he was over the age limit at that point?
He couldn't have been because you have to be 3 to run the Derby. You can't be 4 and run the Derby. The Derby is 3-year-olds only.
I thought, okay. See, I didn't even know that. I thought full disclosure, we are the noobiest of noob horse racing people.
The Kentucky Derby, I know for a fact, is 3
for some. Why would I think that?
I don't know.
All of them? All Triple Crown? We've got Sean Walker, studio
he's still
crawler
alive.
and fact checker on it here.
Yeah, the Derby.
Okay, the Derby.
Well,
but what about the Preakness? And are all Triple Crown races?
I don't know. Is your
Somebody
computer back
told
up
me
and
that
running? I'll
once.
look it up.
Yeah, somebody told me that once, that I thought that I saw somewhere that it was 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds that are racing in the Triple Crown. Okay, well, regardless, no, I do not think that he's going to win one of the other races this year. So I'll say bull bleep on that. It seems like this is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and look at what the experts are saying. The experts seem to think that this is a massive fluke. Plus, he's like plus 600, I think, for the next
plus
race.
800, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Let me open it up. All right, somebody outside of the big 3. I don't know. Do you even call Andretti one of the big 3? I guess.
In terms of
still,
car size, they will.
Yeah. As far as teams are concerned, for the 500, will win the Indy 500.
Outside of Ganassi, Penske, and Andretti, right?
Yes. So you're talking what? Pato?
Pato Award's got a really good chance, Derek.
Who else would be in there? Because most of the top 10 is Penske, Ganassi.
And Andretti. I mean, Rossi's going to have a good chance. Herta has a really good chance.
Yeah.
Renus VK's got a shot.
I mean, Pagenaud, former winner that is not affiliated with any
Pagenaud
of
and
those
Elio,
teams
both
now.
of those.
Yeah, I mean, and you and I agree on this.
I would take the big 3. You take the field.
Every year you've got a former winner out there. Outside of when Buddy Lazier was in a Toyota Tercel, every time you have a former winner out there, the former winner has a chance to win.
Montoya's got a shot, man.
Regardless of team.
Right.
So, still though, you'd have to take out like Newgarden and all these people that are racing for the championship.
Will Power.
I'm going to say bull bleep. I think I would rather have somebody from those 3 teams than the field.
I think Scott McLaughlin can win it.
Yeah. Well, I think there are
12 drivers that can win it.
I'd have to go back and look. I think probably if everything fell right, you'd say more like 16 or 17.
That's probably right.
If everything fell right.
That's probably right.
Like you would have never said that about Rossi in 2016
Right.
unless everything fell right, and
That's
everything
fair.
ended up falling right for him. Let's see. Bite or bull bleep. Where is it? Segment 3. Oh, if James Harden opts out, the Sixers shouldn't bring him back. Bite or bull bleep.
100%
I think he has a player option for
100% buy it.
Well, what if they get to the conference finals or even the NBA finals?
Who cares? They have Joel Embiid, right?
He looks like he's lost a step to me.
Totally.
Harden.
I've always thought he's overrated.
I mean, God, he's 33 years old now.
I've always found him overrated.
I think he's a really good player.
He's a streak shooter, but that's about it, in my opinion.
Yeah, can get to the line. He's an unbelievable scorer, though.
He is, but
what do you do then if you're the Sixers? Because you've got this window here with Embiid.
You build around Maxey. Yeah. Maxey and Embiid, that's enough.
Yeah, I don't know. You lose Harden for nothing? You just let him walk out the door?
No, but
you can't train him if he opts out. It's either re-sign him or let him walk, right?
Let him walk then. Use your $45 million to go get players.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay.
I very rarely cop out on buy it or bull bleep, but
Sign Victor Oladipo.
I don't know if I buy it or that's bull bleep. I don't know what I would do. That's a tough position to be in.
Do you like Philadelphia?
No, I always thought Philly was kind of dumpy.
The Sixers, though. Do you like the franchise?
Sure. The Sixers are one of those teams that have a much better history than I think people give them credit for.
Totally.
They've had some unbelievable. When you take out the Lakers and Celtics, if you just
They're
look
third,
at the
easily.
greatest players to have ever played
Correct.
for one franchise, the Sixers are way up there.
I mean,
Moses Malone, Barkley, Dr. J.
Iverson.
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible group.
Yeah.
So, and they've won championships and all that. I mean, I think
had
they deserve
a
credit.
friend in high school who went to the Sixers team hotel when they were playing the Pacers, managed to sneak into the laundry area and stole Charles Barkley's game shorts.
Wow. They're probably pretty big, huh?
That individual is now a prominent figure in basketball. I don't want to
where all the bodies are buried.
I do.
Yeah. You don't want to mess with Jake. But then again, some people know where Jake's bodies are buried.
You'd like to think
in
so.
the closet there. Grand Prix weekend means that you need tickets if you don't have them already for the race. And the best way to go about that for tickets for any event in Indianapolis is our friends at onlyindytickets.com. Look, we got the shirt out, too, for once. They wanted us to get the shirt out.
Listen, the best thing about Only Indy Tickets, folks, you know the drill. You've heard people that it's happened to. They buy their tickets. Turns out they ain't the real deal. They don't come in time, whatever it might be. They're not delivered to the right place. And then, guess what? They're stuck. They're out their money. Not any sort of an issue with Only Indy Tickets.
No, 100% worry-free guarantee. You do not have to worry about it at all. But go to onlyindytickets.com, not only for sporting events like what's happening month of May over at 16th and Georgetown, but also concerts. Got all the concerts that you would ever want. You're more of a concert guy than I am.
I do like concerts.
But a lot of people into that. It's, I guess, officially concert season. So get your tickets via onlyindytickets.com. Proud sponsor of the show. Your ticket to what's happening in Indianapolis.
We don't know about proud, but they are a sponsor.
All sponsors are proud on this show.
It's okay.
I think Christina's getting less proud for Hoagies and Hops, like
You
with
think?
the sandwich reveal last week and
Foul
dripping slaw.
My dad's
out
not
of the
a fan
studio.
of your mouth, Derek.
I think Christina's a little bit. Lloyd's not liking me anymore. Or sorry, Mr. Query's not liking me anymore.
Well, now you're definitely on the out, but just thinks you need to tone down the innuendos a little bit.
You get real innuendo-y on this show.
He actually told me that he thinks you're an enabler. Thinks you're a gateway. You're like Eddie Haskell.
I think everyone's parents
Walking
thinks
me
that
down the
their kid
wrong
is the
path.
best and
Well,
can
my
do no
parents-
wrong.
Yeah, my parents know that.
Because my parents are definitely like that with me, and I'm sure your parents are like
Well,
that.
our parents are friends, so they probably commiserate on which one is the guilty party here.
Which is kind of weird. My dad's like, yeah, Lloyd texted me the other day, and I'm like, Jake and I don't even text each other. What are you doing? Quick hits when we come back. Some other stories to get to, including vulgar personalized license plates in Florida. I've got a rundown of what was accepted and
See?
what was rejected.
Dad, tune out for that.
Yeah, you're not going to want to see this, Lloyd/Mr. Query. It's Query and Schultz.
Hey, I'm Jeff Saturday, and my favorite thing when I was a professional football player was Indiana. The Hoosier State always made me feel like family. That's why I trust Indiana's hometown mortgage lender, Bailey & Wood. This family-owned company not only gives back to the communities they serve, but also with their 5-star customer service, they can close on your dream home in days, not weeks. So remember, Indiana, you can always get your mortgages at a snap with Bailey & Wood.
Hey, Jeff, how does this look? Yay!
Not bad, bud, but let's stick to mortgages.
At an Indiana dairy farm, long workdays stretch into more labor after sunset. A newborn calf needs watching. Barn needs cleaning. Tractor needs some handiwork for tomorrow's tasks. Just like in your own home, the day's chores are never done until the family beds down for the night. Dairy farmers and their families share the same dream with all of us, that what we all do is worthwhile. Bringing to market pure, safe, and healthy dairy foods is what they do, from Indiana's dairy families to ours every single day. Learn more at winnersdrinkmilk.com.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Hi there. Welcome back to Query and Schultz. My name is Jake Query. I'm your trusty host of this program. And as Derek mentioned earlier, you have a host and then you have a little buddy. The little buddy would be Derek Schultz. He sits immediately to my left. That's your right as you're looking on the television screen. This is the Query and Schultz program on ISC Sports Network. It is terribly award-winning. It is also creatively and appropriately named. And it is brought to you by the fine folks at Bailey & Wood, the presenting sponsor, and we are here in the Lou Malnati's studio. We have other sponsors, of course, that participate in various capacities throughout the program, and we are thrilled to have all of them on board.
Proud sponsors. All of them.
Did you like how smooth and professional
Except
that
maybe
sounded?
Christina. Like I said, I think she's losing pride.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
The hoagies have been they're tasty, but I've been messing them up a little bit.
You have been doing
got
that.
slaw on my
That
hands
is
and
correct.
all that. I forgot to bring it down.
One of those sponsors that we're talking about is. What are you?
I'm waiting for you to say the next thing.
I know it's WGU Indiana, but all of a sudden I can sense in my periphery you were just staring at me like daggers through me.
No, I'm not staring at
Very
you.
awkward. Yeah, you were.
I'm looking at my co-host.
WGU Indiana. You're still right there. I can see it right there. WGU Indiana is your place if you want to finish your online degree. Listen, there are 700,000 Hoosiers that have college credits out there that you thought to yourself, you know what, they probably expired. Life got in the way. I didn't finish my degree. Well, they don't expire. And WGU is an excellent place for you to finish your degree, or perhaps you're thinking about getting into school for the very first time in that gap between high school degree and, of course, getting college credits. WGU Indiana is the place for you. Ambition never rests. You can work at your own schedule. You can take classes online, and the dream of being a college graduate is right there in front of you. WGU Indiana, and, of course, Sage is their mascot, the owl, because ambition never rests, and neither do owls. Think about it. They're nocturnal, and their head's always on a swivel. They're always looking ahead.
Awful beasts.
They're wonderful.
Hate them.
And Sage, who we see right here, the sponsor of WGU, they bring us our Sage move of the week.
Sage
Here, I'm gonna
move,
do like you.
Maybe not so much for the Mets. I guess it's a move that they had to make, but they designated for assignment, DFA'd, Robinson Cano, who was, I think, a borderline Hall of Fame level player until the PED suspension from a couple of years ago. But he's got a huge contract. I know, Jake, you've talked about this being your dream in life. Robinson Cano's due $45 million. And in baseball, it's all, that's yours. You know, it's not like football, those contracts. So he's going to get
money.
Yeah, he's going to get $45 million. So good for Robinson Cano. Sage move of the week. The Mets are sending me home. I'm sure he wants to play again, don't get me wrong. But if you just decided to walk off into the sunset, somebody's got to sign that $45 million check for you.
So where does he go? Does he get?
I don't know.
Where were they going to assign him?
Well, DFA means that you can either take a minor league assignment,
Right, so like Norfolk.
or the player can reject it and get outright released. I don't think Norfolk is their affiliate anymore. They changed it up. I think Norfolk is now the Orioles. I think.
Oh, the cute fella?
The Norfolk Tides were the Mets affiliate forever, but I think they changed it. They tried to get all of the minor league affiliates closer to the teams.
Here it is right here. Oh, Derek, it's the Syracuse Mets.
Okay, yeah.
Probably would have guessed that if we knew that it was the Syracuse. Although, is Syracuse AAA?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. But Robinson Cano is now, I think, 40 years old.
Would you like to guess
pushing
the
40 years old?
AA affiliate? If you can get this right, I'll be very impressed.
No idea. Yankees is Trenton Thunder, I think. But I don't know.
I'm
who
guessing
the
their
Mets is.
AA affiliate actually has a nickname that you were known as in college. Binghamton. Is that in New York?
Yeah, New York State.
That's hard to say.
Binghamton. Yeah.
I believe that's the hometown of our former
Libby.
coworker, Libby
Yep.
Hogan, right?
From Binghamton.
They are the Rumble Ponies.
Why would that be my nickname?
Because you're a little guy like a pony, but I'm guessing you rumbled.
A little bit. I get a little bit testy. People didn't want to rumble with me, I'll tell you that.
Well, I saw you when I showed up at your bachelor party, and you were shadow boxing nothing in the alley.
2,600 hits for Robinson Cano, 8-time All-Star, 5-time Silver Slugger, 2-time Gold Glove.
What does Silver Slugger mean?
I think it is the best just offensive player at your position. So if you're the best third baseman,
Best
but
on what?
just
Based on-
offensively.
based
It's
on
the
average?
Gold Glove for offense.
Based
No, I think it's just overall. So they just add up everything. I don't think it's like it's a batting average
Is there
or
a
something.
formula,
number.
or is it just like that guy looks like the best hitter?
I don't know, man. Like it's just
Well,
okay.
I'm just
He
saying.
won the Silver Slugger 5
Is he a
times. Like we
warp-
don't need to get too far into the weeds
What
here.
was his replacement player value estimation?
That's not a thing.
What's the warp?
Wins above replacement level player. Yeah. Okay. Or VORP.
Which is
Value over replacement level player. Yeah. if you really want to get in the weeds here, there are like advanced stats that are crazy now that are
the VORP is what
stuff
again?
that I even
say what VORP is again?
Value over replacement level player.
So it should be VORP.
That sounds ridiculous. No,
Well,
it should
there's
not
an
be
L in
VORP.
there,
Should not be VORP.
right?
Let's get to quick hits
You missed the L.
with our friends at Stewart Tire and Auto. Darren and the good dudes
Taking my
at
car down
Stewart
this week, Derek. Getting some
are
work
going to take
done.
care of you, whether it's brakes, pads,
Oil change?
rotors, tires, oil change, regular maintenance, not so regular maintenance. Basically, anything that they can do under the hood for your car, they can do it.
Darren is spotting for me for the IndyCar Grand Prix.
Awesome.
And that should tell you folks right there, listen, and I'm being serious here. You have to trust somebody when you are putting them down for a credential to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway access because their name is connected to yours and you want to make sure it's not somebody that's going to burn you or, act inappropriately or do something like that. What are you laughing at?
Remember the year you wore my credential? We got them mixed up. And you went in there with mine and the security stopped you?
I do recall that.
And they were like, you don't have clearance to be over here. And you're like, what are you talking about? My face is my clearance. And it was a big hullabaloo. Like, it went all the way to Doug Bowles.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. I mean, you pitched. You guys know about these situations where, like, a celebrity actor gets into a restaurant and can't get a table and is like, do you know who I am? Jake did that, essentially, at IMS a couple of years ago.
all about that.
Yeah.
But listen, Darren, that should tell you, though, what kind of guy we're talking about, right? I mean, somebody that you know and you can trust. That's what you get with Stewart Tire and Auto
Stop
Service.
13 Road, Southside Indianapolis, right at the county line.
Great guy.
And you can go to their Facebook page at Stewart Tire or just, look them up online and get that service done to your car. Quick hit number 1, the Indiana Fever fell in their home opener. Actually fell in both of their first two games, 0-2, but they were competitive
Lost
in
to
both
the
games.
Sparks by 10 at home.
This is how it's going to go for them. You're playing a bunch of young players. Henderson, one of the rookies, the exciting star from South Carolina, had a really nice game against the Sparks. I think she had 19 points. And, you've got Queen Egbo. You've got the rest of the draft class that's in there as well. Engsler. It's going to be fine. They're moving forward, and that's all you want to see. I think the Pacers are in the same boat, right? You just want to see progress. I don't need the Pacers to make the playoffs in year one. They just need to make some progress. But Minnesota Tuesday, at New York Friday, Atlanta on Sunday for the Fever schedule this week. Don't look now, the Cubs, quick at number 2, have the third worst record in baseball. Third worst. Oh, you're happy about it?
But I'm a Reds fan, so I can't say much.
They've lost 6 straight and kind of lost in all the hoopla of how bad the Reds have been. Cubs are 9-18 now. Brutal. 4-11 at Wrigley.
Really?
4-11. You knew with the sell-off last year. And again, it's an ownership thing. If the Castellinis and it's still Ricketts, right, with the Cubs, I think. If they were interested in fielding a more competitive team, they would have. Right. But they're not. They're interested in making money. Quick at number 3, Vulgar Personalized Plates rundown in Florida has just been released for over the last 3 years. So over the last 3 years, Floridians have applied for more than 1,000 personalized license plates.
Okay, these were approved.
This from the Gainesville Sun. So I have the yes column here and the no column here. Just a couple of examples.
Okay, give me that, and I'll tell you if it's yes or no.
Okay. How about this one? SXYGRMA, Sexy Grandma. Yes or no?
Yep.
That was approved.
Okay.
O-Farts, OHFARTS.
Oh, what?
O-Farts. Approved, not approved?
Not approved.
You're right. Wow, 2 for 2 so far. Doo-doo. DOO.
It's a tough one.
That's a real tough one. Yeah.
Not approved.
Not approved. You're 3 for 3 so far. Get some.
Approved.
Yeah. I actually like Get some. That would be a personalized license plate for me, probably. McNasty.
Approved.
Whoa, that no hesitation there. How are you knowing all these? Did you get the least leaked to you? Mr. Poop.
Disapproved.
Yes, disapproved on there. Mo Stinky. M-O Stinky.
Approved.
Okay, there's got to be one that you don't know on here. I Gotta Pee.
Disapproved.
Nope, that was approved. IGOTAP was approved.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
How about Fart Man?
Dinged for sure.
They said really anything involving butts was not approved. The rest of it was actually okay. This from Jessica Keller, the Deputy Communications Director at the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicle. Personalized plate requests received by the department with obscene or objectionable words will be rejected. So the state rejected 275 in all over a 5-year period. But over the last 3 years, people have gotten a little more callous. 790 requested plates have been rejected by Florida.
Let me tell you something bizarre. When I was a kid, Derek, Honeycomb cereal had bike license plates in the box of cereal.
Those are the best, yeah.
I still have mine. It was Alabama was the state, and the license plate was just 3 letters and 3 numbers.
Just random numbers and letters? Okay.
I had it on the back of my Schwinn Stingray for however long I rode a bike.
Is that why you wanted to go to Alabama or applied there? Because your Alabama bike license plate?
They had easy admission standards.
Okay.
I have tried every year to get a personalized license plate with that combination, with those 3 letters and those 3 numbers, and it gets dinged every year.
Weird.
Isn't that weird?
Like they think that you're making a joke and they can't figure out what the joke is?
That's got to be it. I don't.
Or
I
like
have
it's
no
some kind
idea.
of like a gang code or something?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Wow.
But every year they're like, nope.
I've never had a personalized plate.
Thank goodness. When I was like 25, I thought about getting a vanity plate, like about being on TV or something, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like you wanting the tattoo.
Well, unfortunately, I wanted Schultz in Greek letters across my back. Thank God I didn't do that. My parents had a personalized plate.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
3 babes, right?
Yeah. And you can imagine what it was like getting dropped off in high school in a minivan with a license plate that said 3 babes. Kids used to wait outside until I started having my dad drop me off 2 blocks over so I could just walk to school.
Now, did your dad drop you off in the car that got broken into at the Brickyard 400?
That was a different minivan, and the 3 babes license plate went away. And once I got to college, they got rid of the 3 babes license plate. But yeah, my dad got his window smashed at the Brickyard. They had their suitcase in there because they were hitting the road right after the race, and they parked at a church parking lot. I'm not going to say which church. My dad made some angry phone calls over to the church. My dad is a man of God, but he was not real happy about no one monitoring the lot during the race. And they took a laptop and some other stuff. It was all work stuff that could be replaced. So, and his cholesterol meds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and this was like the middle of like the Vicodins, or not Vicodin, Oxycontin and all of that. And so I forget what the direct quote was, but it was something along the lines as somebody thought they were getting a score. And instead, they just got my heart meds or whatever.
So,
my dad was real happy
somebody out
about
there's
it.
got some fresh threads and some healthy
Somebody
arteries.
was, popping whatever, cholesterol meds there were.
That's cool.
Thinking that he was going to get a big score out of it. Yep.
Fair enough.
We got to wrap up the show next. A couple of things to get to, including our big winner, American Dairy Association of Indiana. So we got the milk. And wrap up for the week. I'm surprised the show, it's flown by today, I feel like. I can't believe we're already in the last segment. It's Corey and Schultz.
Time flies when you're having fun.
IC Sports Network. You're right about that.
College wasn't built for me.
I didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Or if my kid had a fever.
Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
I want to take tests when I'm ready.
I want to take courses on my time.
And speed up when I know my stuff.
I want a university that cares about me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of you.
Indiana dairy farmers provide us with safe, pure foods for our tables. A responsibility that takes intuition, resolve, and determination to make sure their milk is good for you and delicious to taste. Their connection with our community runs deep, passed down through the generations, ensuring that milk is always available at your store. It's not easy being a dairy farmer, but the rewards have special meaning when you can feed Indiana's families every single day. Learn more at winnersdrinkmilk.com.
Hey, I'm Jeff Saturday, and my favorite thing when I was a professional football player was Indiana. The Hoosier State always made me feel like family. That's why I trust Indiana's hometown mortgage lender, Bailey & Wood. This family-owned company not only gives back to the communities they serve, but also with their 5-star customer service, they can close on your dream home in days, not weeks. So remember, Indiana, you can always get your mortgages at a snap with Bailey & Wood.
Hey, Jeff, how does this look? Yay!
Not bad, bud, but let's stick to mortgages.
Back for a final time, Corey and Schultz, presented by Bailey & Wood Financial Group here on ISC Sports Network. Thanks to Greg Mash and Sean Walker for filling in today. We had some events going on because of all the rainouts last week, so our usual crew with Alan Hughes and Jordan Shue and Greg Rakestraw running graphics are all unavailable today, but our two old school ISC guys, Greg and Sean, well, they have actual, like, real jobs besides the network. Like they're 9-to-5s, and they're here in the office, but they know how to run all the cameras and all the equipment because they were the OGs of ISC, and they decided to help us out today, and we really appreciate that.
Derek, I have before me the list of milk preferences.
Oh, I saw it. This was just released a couple days ago, right?
From the American Dairy Association of Indiana. Of course, winners drink milk, folks. You know that. It's that time of year, right? Started with Louis Meyer. The best tradition in all of sports is, of course, the ice-cold sip of milk, signifying that you have won the Indianapolis 500-mile race. And this year, the list is out. Each driver gets their choice between whole milk, skim milk, or 2% milk. Marco Andretti, I'm not going to read them all off. Everybody going with whole except for Elio Castroneves prefers 2% and said he would like pink powder, please. Keep in mind he drives a pink car.
Can you imagine if Elio won again and he had a 5-time winner? Wouldn't that just be insane?
Colton Herta would like whole chocolate milk. Chocolate milk, an excellent, Colton, post-workout beverage because you have as much calcium in it as you get as a couple of, I got to think here, as much calcium as
hard-boiled eggs?
Hard-boiled eggs, as much, no, it's protein of hard-boiled eggs.
Protein of hard-boiled eggs,
calcium as spinach. Couple of cups of spinach and as much potassium as a banana. Kayla Milot would like 2% milk. Jimmy Johnson said whole, please make sure it's cold. Dalton Kellett said whole, fresh cold milk. Of course it's going to be fresh cold milk. Kyle Kirkwood, whole, ice cold, please. Scott McLaughlin, whole, make it cold. Scott McLaughlin's mother grew up on a dairy farm in New Zealand, by the way. Alex Pillow wants ice cold whole milk. Graham Rahal, since chocolate isn't an option and tradition matters, he went with whole. That's cool.
Yeah, I think most of the drivers go whole, right?
Juan Pablo Montoya, no preference. That's cool. Ed Carpenter wants buttermilk.
He always says buttermilk every year. And I think they've decided to
That's what Louis Meyer had,
let
right?
him have it, if they have to.
That's very cool.
Yeah. It would be cool to see Ed. You know, he's knocked on the door, and obviously he's been great in qualifying for all those years. Multiple-time pole winner. Be great to see him pull that thing into victory lane. All right, here's what we do with the big winner. I usually would pick somebody like Rich Strike because they won the biggest sporting event of the week, right? Excuse me. But since we had already kind of done that with Kentucky Derby and all that, sorry. I've had this cough since like December that just hasn't all the way gone away. I think I'm okay. Like I'm sleeping fine.
Are you aware of what's going on in the world?
Okay. Well, I'm all vaccinated and boosted and the whole shebang. Well, you think I have long COVID? Or it's just COVID, but it's just long term?
You don't have long anything. But I'm telling you, like, this has been going around for like 2 years.
I just have this weird thing, like it just every.
Most people, if they get a cough, like have a little.
It's not like a chronic cough. It's just that
Andy,
every single day, like I feel like I have to cough.
Drive you home today. You're going to be confined in my car.
Yeah, can I have a ride home? I need a ride home.
Do you ever see what dogs do?
Stick my head out the window?
Yes.
I'm not going to. You drive like 90 miles an hour and 65. It'll peel my eyeballs out probably.
Fine.
I'm not doing that.
Should have thought about that.
Yeah. Do you want me to wear a mask? I still have one.
Yes.
Okay. It's an N95 too.
Okay.
Just to make you feel good. I'm fine though. I get tested all the time.
Okay.
Jokic is going to, it's not finalized yet. It's Monday morning, well, early Monday afternoon right now when we're taping this. But the report is that he is going to win his second consecutive MVP award after turning in a season, the first one in NBA history, with 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 500 assists.
Derek, do you know the only other second-round pick to be a most valuable player? It's a little askew because there were only 7 teams. The guy was the 8th overall pick in the draft, which was technically a second round.
I don't know the answer to this. To win 2 MVPs?
No, to win MVP.
Oh, no, I don't know.
A great player that you kind of don't hear a lot about anymore. I believe, I'm pretty sure, I always get this guy
The
confused.
MVP list is pretty much a who's who. Like, you don't have a Terry Pendleton, really, in NBA MVPs.
Correct. This guy's a great player that you just don't hear a lot about anymore.
Are you trying to think of who it is?
No, I'm trying to think of a hint to give you. Played collegiately at Louisville.
I know Purvis Ellison never won MVP.
Correct.
I can't even think of
8th
somebody.
overall pick in the draft, which at the time was a second rounder. So that tells you it's in the way back.
I mean, I'm looking at a list here. I don't know.
I believe this individual has a son that now coaches.
Wes Unseld?
Yes.
Okay. I was looking here at a list, and I'm like, who was it? And I know that he went to Louisville. Yeah, because, I mean,
By the way,
Jake, look at this MVP list. I mean, Steve Nash winning
amazing,
2
yes.
was a little bit, okay, really? Steve Nash is a great player, Hall of Fame player, but, I mean, the guys that win this award, it's not a lot of flukes. I can't find a single fluke, in fact,
You're
on
right.
here of the guys that won.
By the way, my winners drink milk. Nothing against Jokic. My winners drink milk winner of the week.
Derrick Rose maybe would be an MVP.
We have talked about this individual before, but I'm going to do it again. A listener of our show who Derek and I became buddies with just from knowing him through Twitter, and then we met him at the Final Four a couple of years ago when his alma mater Loyola was in the Final Four. That was San Antonio, Derek, is that right?
Yes.
Garrison Carr, who I believe attended, well, he went to Loyola, obviously, and then worked briefly at University of Indianapolis, is a big IU fan, and a graduate of, I believe, Franklin Central High School. But Garrison, in college, just started running to get in shape, to feel better about himself, lose a little weight, get in shape. He has not only turned into a runner that competed unbelievably in the Boston Marathon, 2 weeks ago? He followed that up with a top 110 finish in the mini marathon on Saturday. That is unbelievably impressive. He was running 6-minute miles for 13 miles. He did it in like an hour 6. Unbelievably impressive.
My man's an athlete.
Garrison Carr is my winners drink milk winner of the week. Good dude.
Good dude, yeah. I think he has a lot of enemies on Twitter because he's very snarky and he tells you exactly what he thinks, but I always kind of like that about him. And I agree with like all of his viewpoints. If I didn't, then maybe I wouldn't like Garrison, but a great dude. And somebody that we've been lucky enough to meet in real life because
Lover
a lot of those
all things Indiana.
A lot of those Twitter people we've never met before, but at least Garrison we've gotten the chance
Let
to
me
be
get
like,
his exact
okay,
statistics.
we know who you are. You are a real person. You're not a bot or something. Because there are some people like that you're like, geez, is this actually a real human being? Nobody can be this dumb.
Now, I'm looking here. Okay. He did the Boston Marathon in 2:51:38. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, under 3 hours.
He did the mini marathon on Saturday, 110th place.
Yeah. And how many people enter that race?
13,000?
Yeah.
I came in 11,000th, I think.
That's pretty good. You basically walk your way around the track, though, don't you? Or don't you pick an area?
I jog. I run the first.
I thought you picked an area where you always walked.
Well, I stop on the bricks this year, and I talked to Calabro and Mark Miles and Allison Melanchthon. We took pictures. Montman and I took a picture there. He estimated it was 50-50. You know, we'll run, and then I'll say, like, all right, let's run to that 2nd Street sign. All right, now let's walk for 2 blocks. All right, now let's run it. We just mix it all up. And it's interesting because a friend of mine, Erica, we saw on the bricks, and she was walking. And so we ran, and then we'd walk, and she'd catch back up to us, and then we'd run and get ahead. And in the end, it was the same pace. You just mix it all up.
Yeah.
So,
I really should run that some year.
You should.
The problem is I hate running.
That's a bit of a detriment.
That's always been a tough thing for me. Thanks to our friends at Lou Malnati's here in the studio. Last but certainly not least, before we exit stage left here on the show, our friends at Lou's doing a great job of providing delicious deep dish pizza.
Fabulous.
The best
Really
that
good.
there is, and now finally here in central Indiana, so you don't have to sneak it back from Chicago or Cherville or wherever else, or order online.
Truck, Derek, driving around, and I thought, man, somebody's getting some good pie.
You can order online, LouMalnati's.com, or soon to be 4 Indy area locations. The Greenwood store is coming on later this summer. Broad Ripple Dining Room, beautiful, open now. That is the lone dine-in location in our area. West 86th Street is for carry-out and delivery, and also in Carmel, carry-out and delivery. But it is a family recipe. We had Mark on the show last week, the owner. I forgot to ask him if they're like the Coca-Cola people, where they don't travel together. You know, the people that know the actual Coca-Cola formula, because if the plane crashes, then you can never make Coke again because it wouldn't be the same.
Right.
Like, there have been a lot of people that have tried to make a deep dish pie like Malnati's, and they don't have the exact recipe, so they don't know. They don't know how to replicate it. If it's even replicable,
No, it's not. It's one of a kind, Derek.
repeatable, whatever that word is.
People that go to
for Lou
Chicago
Malnati's.
just to go to Lou Malnati's. Don't have to do it anymore, right?
Also, dog friendly. Want to point that out at Broad Ripple there in the store. You and I should go for their lunch special sometime. Grab a pie and a salad.
If there's something that is,
you get a personal
to me,
pie and a salad.
Listen, I will come up with a reason, or I need no reason to go to Lou Malnati's. What I'm saying. Even I would go with you. It's that good.
Or you give me a ride home. So let's go right there. I don't have anything to do this afternoon. I shouldn't say that because my boss is sitting right behind there. Actually, I have lots of things to do this afternoon, so I don't know if I'll be able to go to Lou Malnati's. I'm sorry.
You got to go supervise the making of a third toilet.
What are you doing later?
Okay.
Thanks to our other sponsors as well. Bailey & Wood Financial Group. I still have the DeBrand chocolate car with us here, our good friends at DeBrand Fine Chocolates, shops at River Crossing. Of course, our friends at American Dairy Association, Indiana, indairy.com. Stewart Tire and Auto down on the south side, Hoagies and Hops, 42nd and Boulevard.
Love Heating and Air.
Only Indy Tickets and onlyindytickets.com. Love Heating and Cooling.
Chateau Kitchen.
Chili Water Brewing. Everyone.
Did you say Bailey & Wood?
Making this possible. I led with them, because they are the presenting sponsors of Query and Schultz. Right. And again, to Sean, we hope he's okay from crawling over all those wires, and Greg for helping us out today. We will see you next time here on Query and Schultz, ISC Sports Network. Have a great week, you guys.